Understanding the nature of pain and reality. If you've made it this far, you're probably going through a moment of pain. It doesn't matter whether that pain is physical, emotional, or existential. It feels real. It weighs you down. It paralyzes you. But I want to propose a different journey. A journey that blends philosophy, stoicism, and quantum physics to reveal something surprising. What you're feeling now, no matter how unbearable it seems, is also impermanent, moldable, and, above all, not solid. Let's start at the beginning. What is real? Most of us grew up believing that the things around us, the chair, the body, the broken heart, are solid, fixed, and definite. But quantum physics has something different to say. When studying the atom, scientists discovered that it is, in fact, mostly empty. What appears solid is, in essence, a collection of particles vibrating in an almost entirely empty space. The electrons orbiting the nucleus are waves of probability, not fixed points. The nucleus itself, dense and small, is also dynamic. Why does this matter? Because if everything is made of atoms, and atoms are not solid, then what seems so heavy right now, your pain, is not solid either. It has form, yes, but it is transient. Like a cloud that covers the sun but does not destroy it. Pain is an experience that passes through you, but it does not define you. Ancient philosophy, especially Stoicism, also had something to say about this, even before any scientist spoke of quarks and subatomic particles. Seneca, one of the great Roman Stoics, said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Stoicism teaches us that we don't have control over external events, but we do have control over how we react to them. Pain may knock at your door, but you choose whether it moves in. This doesn't mean that pain doesn't exist, but that its permanence depends, in part, on how you relate to it. Quantum mechanics shows us that the observer interferes with reality. The simple act of observing a particle alters its behavior. And if that applies to the physical world, why not apply that idea to the internal world? When you observe your pain with distance, with philosophical curiosity, without identifying with it, you transform it. Imagine your pain as a particle. It can exist in many states until it is observed. By fixing it as something permanent, you collapse it into a fixed reality. But by viewing it through another lens, stoic, philosophical, quantum, it loses its weight. It's not about denying pain, but about realizing that it is fluid. It is not solid. And like everything that is not solid, it passes. You are more than the sensation you feel. You are the space between thoughts. You are the consciousness that observes. Stoicism would call this the inner reason or rational soul. Physics would call it a field or energy. The words change, but the truth repeats. You are greater than what wounds you. Perhaps right now you feel like none of this helps. That these philosophical or scientific ideas are cold in the face of a broken heart or an irreparable loss. But remember, just as a scientist needs time to understand a complex experiment, the understanding of your pain also needs time. Perhaps now is the time to breathe. Just that. Take a deep breath and remember that your pain is not solid. It is not definitive. It is not you. In times like these, the wisdom of the ancients and the discoveries of modern science can walk side by side. What wounds us also reveals us. And the matter that composes our bones is the same that vibrates with uncertainty and light. Pain, like the atom, is a dynamic phenomenon. And so are you. Transcending pain and rebuilding the self. Now that we understand that pain is not solid, let's take a step further. How then can we use this understanding to rebuild our lives? How can we live lightly when everything feels so heavy? Let's begin with an image from quantum mechanics, the quantum leap. An electron does not change its energy level gradually. It jumps. And when it jumps, it transforms. There is no smooth path between one state and another. There is a leap, a rupture, a choice. So it is with you. Don't wait to feel ready to change. There will come a moment when you simply decide. Decide not to feed the pain anymore. Decide to step away from repetitive thinking. Decide to breathe, to rise, to try again. The Stoics believed in the distinction between what we can control and what we cannot. And do you know what you can control? The decision to become an observer of yourself. The decision not to confuse yourself with the storm. Let's look at a real-life example. Viktor Frankl, Austrian psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, wrote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. And that space is our power to choose our response." And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. That space is your quantum leap. It is philosophical, emotional, spiritual. In it, you choose not to repeat patterns, not to relive old pains, not to reduce yourself to what happened. In quantum physics, there is a principle called wave-particle duality. An electron can behave as a wave or as a particle, depending on how it is observed. And you, likewise, can behave as a wounded body or as moving consciousness. It all depends on your lens. Philosophy is full of lenses. Stoicism, for example, invites us to see every obstacle as an opportunity for virtue, courage, patience, wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and one of the greatest Stoics, wrote in his journal, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Physics shows us that everything is energy and vibration, and philosophy shows us that everything is interpretation and construction. Both tell us that you can change, that you can rebuild, and, as contradictory as it may seem, pain is a doorway, an opening to a new way of being. It forces you to pause, to rethink, to look within, and if used wisely, it can be the energy needed for your next leap. Reflect on this. If atoms change their state under observation, and if you are made of atoms, then you also change when you begin to observe yourself with compassion, awareness, and will. And that is not mystical. It is quantum. It is philosophical. It is human. The world may seem chaotic, uncertain, painful, but it is also fluid, unexpected, full of possibilities. The pain you feel today is a wave. Do not build your identity upon it. Observe it. Let it pass. And remember, you are more than it. You are the space. The atom is not solid. Your pain is not either. And you, my friend, are light and potential. Keep going.